Hey guys, and welcome to my Soulsword deck profile, and this is post the Megatins. So now we have access to Crossout in the TCG, which changes quite a bit for this deck. So now this deck isn't as fragile to Imperm and Veiler, which are the main threats towards this deck. The deck isn't as weak to those cards, and obviously against Token Collector as well, you have multiple counters, and you also have like the Baguska Zeus engine combined with triple tactics talents. If you don't know what that interaction is, it's basically if you normal summon a soul sword level 4. So basically if you normal summon your Tai or Moi, basically if your opponent were to use token collector when you summon a token using their effect, you can use talents to steal the token collector and then overlay for Baguska and then stall a turn. Then the next turn you can go for Zeus. And then you can get rid of that token collector by either the Ruddy Rose Dragon or Baxia, whichever one. So that's basically the token collector counter, and there's multiple other ways to play around it as well. You also have stuff like Crossout, you have Fusion Destiny, all of these are backup cards. You also have the Called by the Grave, so those all help you play around hand traps and interruption. And I'm also deciding to include the 2 copies of the 10E Spirit Vishuda, and this really helps this deck going second because Vishuda is like great removal. And we're not usually playing any other hand traps in the main deck except for Veiler, Imperm, and Ash. Obviously Ash can hit any deck really hard, so that's great. And then you have Imperm and Veiler for cross-out targets and to just use as disruption against your opponent. The only real hand traps that affect this deck are Ash, Veiler, and Imperm, and obviously Token Collector, but nobody's going to be main decking Token Collector, so you can obviously just side deck the Token Collector in case of the mirror matchup or as a cross-out target, either way. So that's how the deck plays through hand traps, and even if you get hand trapped and you don't have access to cross-out or Called by the Grave, the thing is you can just use Fusion Destiny to summon Enforcer and then just play like that and play the control game. That also works. And one thing you might notice is I'm not playing the Gamma package, and that's because the Gamma package conflicts with Celestial's effect that lets you draw 2 if you have no cards in hand, because after you use Gamma once, it's usually a brick, and sometimes you might not even use it. So Driver is also an additional brick in the deck, so just cut the Gamma package, and we have more than enough like safety cards. Like you have 3 Fusion Destiny, 3 Talents, 3 Crossout, you have the Called by as well. So that's a lot of stuff that like helps you play around hand traps and not just pass your turn. And you also have your hand traps of your own to serve as interruption to your opponent. So that's what's going on there. And extra deck, again, you are playing that 1 Monk of the 10E, so in case you open Vishuda, so you can just link it off into Monk of the 10E for that normal monster on the field, and then just instantly trigger Vishuda in your graveyard. So that's basically the deck profile. There's nothing too special here. There's some extra deck can be tweaked a bit to preference, but there's nothing much here that's too special. If there's anything in this deck profile that seems interesting, or if there's something that I'm missing, please let me know in the comments down below. And yeah, that's basically it for this deck profile. I'll see you in the next video.